Hey guys, welcome back to Just a Geek in the Garage. So today was kind of an interesting day. I had to run around for the office, or for work I should say, to Harbor Freight and Home Depot and Walmart. You know, I'm not complaining. Obviously, I love going to Harbor Freight and Home Depot. But today I was looking for a bunch of stuff for the business. But while I happened to be there, when I was at Harbor Freight, they just came out with the green version of the mini toolbox, at least in my area. I think it's been out for a week or two in some other areas, but you know, this thing was selling for $18.99, where they've dropped the price now on the red, blue, and black ones to $14.99 as I think the regular retail price. You know, I could have waited till they had a sale on this, but there was only a couple in stock, and I figured, you know what, I'm willing to pay a couple extra bucks just to kind of add this to the mini toolbox collection. And so, you know, I decided to pick it up, and, you know, here we are. Seems to be, you know, really good quality. You know, of the mini toolboxes, like I've kind of said in the past, I think US General has been my favorite. You know, it has the ball bearings, you know, on the slides. It comes with the pre-cut, you know, liners on the inside. And actually, I think it looks a little bit more like a real toolbox than all of the other ones. You know, it has US General here instead of a lot of them have, you know, Kobalt or whatever down here. And then the other thing is, you know, when you open it up, it actually stays open by itself. It doesn't kind of flop, you know, all the way back. And so it stays up at kind of that 90 degree, which I really like. So I think it was kind of a really, really thought out toolbox. And especially with, you know, Harbor Freight, you know, these things constantly are on sale for about 12 or 13 bucks, which I think is an excellent deal. I've mentioned before, you know, I've bought these things for, you know, all my kids. They kind of use them for different things. And, you know, I think for the price, they're kind of nice to have. And I've kind of gotten now in the habit of buying every one that kind of comes out from different, manufacturers. So far I've seen, you know, US General, I have Husky, I have Kobalt, and now there's actually another one that has been released as well, which I literally found out about today, and I also happened to be at Walmart today, so it just happened to be a good day for tools and toolboxes. I teased it on a previous video if you guys happen to kind of watch the videos as they come out, on another video titled, you know, another, I think, more USA made Walmart tools. But here, let's kind of take a look at this. Kind of looks like a mirror here. You kind of see the mess here behind me. And I apologize about the close-up angle, but I don't really have another place to record at the moment. Let me kind of clean this up. So this right here, let me kind of just show you what we're looking at, is a mini toolbox from HyperTuff. So now you can get one of these mini toolboxes at Walmart, which is pretty cool. You know, I saw this guy right here. Unfortunately, it's out of stock both online and in store that I checked. I think this is also only 20 bucks as just kind of a little cabinet that goes below it. I thought that was kind of a really cool option, a little bit different than how everybody else does it. And what's funny is at first glance, when I kind of looked at this, just based off of kind of the angle and the way the drawers look, and the fact that the drawers are ball bearings and not just friction slides like Husky and Kobalt, I initially thought, I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if this thing was made in the same factory as the Harbor Freight ones? I did a quick look around of it, and I quickly kind of came to realize that I don't believe that's the case, but you never know. So with them, they have the HyperTuff on the back. So this is kind of cool. It's just stamped in there. So it's kind of cool if you don't want, you know, a bunch of, you know, logos on the front like the other ones have. But one way that this one's kind of different is the way that it opens. So this one, when it opens almost like a real kind of hutch, top hutch that you would have on a toolbox, where you still have these guys, the kind of the walls on the side here, and it opens up in the middle, versus the, you know, the Harbor Freight one. When you open it up, the whole top kind of opens up. So it's a little bit different design, but kind of more true to form to a real kind of full-size toolbox. So I thought that was kind of cool. Honestly, maybe I didn't look at the box close enough, but I was not expecting red liners when I got it. But, you know, it's kind of a nice little pop to it. Not too bad. And then when you open it, this does feel very reminiscent of the Harbor Freight US General, because it has those ball bearings. Although I will say the US General is a little bit smoother, but, you know, it's not bad. And then the other thing that's kind of interesting is it looks like it has two equal size drawers here, versus the Harbor Freight one is roughly like a 1 inch. I think it's like a 1 inch and a 2 inch drawer, but a very shallow hutch. Where this one gives you, it appears to be two 1 inch drawers. Actually, you know what? Just we're here, might as well measure it real quick. Let's take a look here. So yeah, it looks like it's right around maybe 1.25 inches to the top. And that is the same for both of them. But with the hutch, you have, depending on what you're measuring to, it's about 2 inches from inside of here to the top of here. And then the US General, and I think these dimensions were pretty much identical across all of the other mini toolboxes, is, yeah, it's about 1.25 for the top one. And then about 2, let's say 2.25, between 2 1/8, maybe 2 1/4 on the bottom one. So depends on basically what you're looking for. Do you guys want something that has more of a hutch space with 2 equal sized drawers, or do you want something that is has 2 different sized drawers with a shallow hutch? Just depends on what you guys want to use it for. You know, a couple of these that I have, I kind of use for like EDC type stuff, knives and multi-tools, things like that, and they seem to work very well. Although one thing I will say about this guy, maybe it's not placed in properly. It seems like this is a little bit big for the top, but let's see if it was just not in right. Oh, it just wasn't in right, sorry. So personally, I'm still kind of team US General on these mini toolboxes. I think it's a great way to go, especially when they're on sale for $12.99. This guy for $19.99, you know, it's an average price for the toolbox. Although, like I mentioned, you know, this portion right here does definitely intrigue me. So hopefully this thing comes back in stock soon. And when it does, I'll go ahead and purchase it. And I'll probably make another video just showing the whole setup. And it's, you know, similar, not exactly the same, but it's similar to the Kobalt, where the Kobalt has kind of a 3-drawer and the 2-drawer up here, where this one again is going to be a cabinet and the 2-drawer. So, you know, tell me, what do you guys think? Which would you prefer? This one does come in a few other colors. Comes like in a darker green, not the similar green, and I want to say like blue and red and purple, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe those are about $25 for the different colors and $20 for black, if I remember correctly. So again, here we go, mini toolboxes. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.